Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So in the last session we have discussed about intermolecular forces, types of intermolecular forces and the factors which affecting the intermolecular forces, and even we considered a special type of force, that is hydrogen bonding. Alright, so in this session we go for the measurable properties of a gaseous state. So as for the syllabus we have to consider the properties of a gas first. Well, properties means measurable properties, or they are also generally specified as a state variables or state functions of a gases. So what are all the properties of a gas which can be measured? Means we can list out them. Mass of a gas can be measured, volume of a gas can be measured, pressure of a gas can be measured, like temperature, density and diffusion of a gases. So these are the few properties of a gases which can be measured quantitatively. These are the properties which can be measured quantitatively. Okay, well, we discuss one by one. First one, if I consider mass, how we can measure the mass of a gas means, let us consider this square box indicates a empty container, okay, empty vessel. Well, we can measure empty weight of the container, right? Consider W1 is the weight of this empty container. So what we are saying, let us say this square box indicating a empty container or a vessel, so its weight can be measured as a W1 gram. Further, the same container is filled with the gas. Okay, the same container is filled with the gas, and again we are going to measure the weight of the container. Say it is a W2. Then if we compare weight of these, W2 will be more than W1 because the container earlier it is empty, now it is filled with a particular gas. Now the difference W2 minus W1, what this difference gives? The difference in the weight gives the weight of the gas taken in a container, filled in a container, which means yes, it is possible to measure the mass, or I can say weight of a container. Okay. Well, how we are going to express the weight of the container, weight of a gas taken in a container means, usually the mass, or I can say weight of the gas is expressed in terms of, it is actually that mole is nothing but it expresses the amount of a chemical substances, whatever may be the type. It generally expresses the amount of substance present, and quantitatively we know the value. What is mole? It is the, if we compare with a dozen, so one dozen is nothing but how much? 12 quantities, right? So one dozen of banana, one dozen banana means how many quantities will be there? There will be 12 bananas present, right? Similarly, 1 mole is nothing but it is the 6.022 into 10 raised to 23 units. So quantitatively, that 1 mole 1 mole will be equal to the value 6.022 into 10 raised to 23 units. So this unit is also referred as a Na. What is this Na? Avogadro's number. Okay, Avogadro's number, right? Well, 1 dozen of banana means we say 12 quantities, means 1 mole of banana means how many? It is the 6.022 into 10 raised to 23 quantities. So generally remember, 1 mole refers to 6.022 into 10 raised to 23 quantities, whatever it is. Now if I say 1 mole of NaCl means 6.022 into 10 raised to 23 NaCl molecules. Okay, 1 mole of sodium acetate means again 6.022 into 10 raised to 23 sodium acetate molecules. 1 mole of EDTA means, yes, it is again 6.022 into 10 raised to 23 EDTA molecules. Okay, so generally remember, 1 mole is nothing but how much? It is the 6.022 into 10 raised to 23 units. Now consider equation here. Say HCl plus NaOH gives rise to, say HCl when reacts with sodium hydroxide, there will be formation of sodium chloride and water. Now when I look at the stoichiometric coefficient of the reaction equation, say 1 mole of HCl 1 is the stoichiometric coefficient here. So 1 mole of NaOH, 1 mole of HCl reacts with 1 mole of NaOH gives 1 mole of NaCl and 1 mole of water. So here 1 mole is nothing but, we already mentioned 6.02 into 10 raised to 23 quantities or units. Now molecular mass of HCl, it will be 36.5 gram. Therefore what we can correlate is, okay, number of mole can be correlated with what? Molecular weight. Okay, well, similarly NaOH, its molecular weight is 40 gram. Therefore 1 mole of NaOH is nothing but 40 gram of NaOH. Okay, as like we can consider 1 mole of any gas is nothing but 6.022 into 10 raised to 23 that gaseous molecules. Say 1 mole is equal to 6.022 into 10 raised to 23 H2 molecules, hydrogen molecule. So for a hydrogen molecule, what is the molecular mass? It is the 2 gram. So number of moles is further converted into weight, or I can say mass. Similarly, that 1 mole can be said, 1 mole of oxygen is nothing but what? 6.022 into 10 raised to 23 molecules of oxygen. And what about molecular mass? It is the 32 gram O2. So 1 mole of O2 is nothing but 32 gram of oxygen. Then 1 mole of water vapor, say 6.022 into 10 raised to 23 molecules of water. That is, for water molecular weight is 18 gram. So here how we are going to consider the weight, or I can say mass of a gases means usually expressed in terms of moles. So that mole can be further converted into what? Masses. 1 mole is equal to Avogadro number 6.022 into 10 raised to 23 is further equal to what? Molecular weight. Okay, molecular weight of a molecule, right? Molecular weight of molecule. Please remember this. Then second one more property which can be measured quantitatively is, it is the volume of a gas. Yes, volume of a gas can also be measured. Well, what is volume means? It is the amount of space occupied by particular gas gives its a volume. So amount of space occupied by a gas gives its a volume. Well, consider again a vessel. Okay, we can measure the volume of any particular vessel, and if any gas is filled in this vessel, means the volume of a gas is equal to volume of a vessel itself, right? So if you take the larger volume, that gaseous molecules will be suspended in that large volume of a container. Therefore volume of a container itself gives the volume of a gas, right? So generally how we are saying volume is nothing but it is the amount of space occupied by a gas. Okay, well, if I consider unit for volume, how we are going to express the volume means, it's the SI unit for volume will be meter cube. Okay, length, breadth into height. So meter cube. Even we can express in a different units like decimeter cube. dm cube means decimeter cube, centimeter cube. Okay, decimeter cube is nothing but equivalent to liters, and centimeter cube is equal to milliliters. Okay, well, and if I consider the interconversions, okay, dimensional analysis of the units of volume, we can convert with different possibilities. 1 dm cube, 1 decimeter cube is nothing but, say, 10 raised to 3 centimeter cube. 1 meter is nothing but 10 decimeter. 1 meter cube is nothing but, say, 1000 liter. Then 1 meter cube is also equal to what? 10 raised to 3 decimeter cube. Okay, so remember the conversions. 1 meter cube is nothing but 1000 liter, or it is also equal to 10 raised to 3 decimeter cube. Further, 10 raised to minus 3 meter cube is equal to 1 decimeter cube. Then 1 meter cube is also equal to what? Again 10 raised to 3 decimeter cube. Okay, we repeated this, which is nothing but deci 10 raised to 3 centimeter cube. Further I am specifying, say here what we said, 1 decimeter cube which is equal to 10 raised to 3 centimeter cube. So 10 raised to 3 into 10 raised to 3 centimeter cube. So it will be 10 raised to 6 centimeter cube. Then further 1 meter cube is further equal to 10 raised to 6 centimeter cube. Okay, and 10 raised to minus 6 meter cube is nothing but 1 centimeter cube. So these are the few interconversions. So remember at least the first 1 decimeter cube is equal to 10 raised to 3 centimeter cube. 1 meter is nothing but 10 decimeter. 1 meter cube is nothing but 1000 liters. Okay, well, so what is volume? It is the amount of space occupied by a gas, and we are going to express volume with a different units. And what is the SI unit for volume means? It is the decimeter cube. Well, next coming to the one more property, important property of a gas which can be measured is pressure of a gas. Well, how we are going to express the pressure of a gas means it is the force exerted by unit area on the wall of a container. Okay, the force exerted by unit area. So force F exerted by unit area of wall of a container is nothing but pressure. Okay, hitting the walls of the container. Say because of all the gaseous molecules, they are associated with a sufficient kinetic energy. Because of this kinetic energy, they have a random movement. Okay, they are in a random motion, a random movement. So due to this random movement, what happens? They continuously hit the inner wall of a container. These gaseous molecules, they hit the inner wall of a container. So that average, or I can say net force exerted by gaseous molecules on a unit area of a walls of a container is nothing but pressure. Well, how we are going to measure the pressure means with the help of a barometer and even a manometer is also used to measure the pressure of a gases. Okay, well, and how we are going to express the pressure means, say the atmospheric gases, they are going to exert a pressure of how much? 1 atmosphere, or we can say it is equal to 76 centimeter of mercury. Well, if we consider pressure, it can be expressed in terms of atmosphere, 1 atmosphere, or we can say 1 bar, or further if I consider the interconversions of different forms of pressures, means the different unit for pressure includes, say what I said, it is the force exerted by gases on unit area. Okay, so F by A, force per unit area, will be the pressure. So how we are going to express the force? Force is measured in terms of Newton and area is measured in terms of meter square. Okay, length into breadth. So two sides, multiplication of two sides gives the area, so that length into breadth, say they are expressed in terms of meter, so will be meter square. So overall unit for pressure will be Newton per meter square. Okay, or which is also equal to Pascal. Pascal is the one more unit to express the pressure. As like atmosphere and bar, even we can express the pressure in terms of Newton per meter square or in terms of pascals. Okay, well, so here further one pressure is 1 atmosphere is equal to it is equal to 1.01, the relation between these two quantity, atmosphere and Pascal. So 1 atmosphere is equal to 1.01325. So we can neglect these digits. Okay, so we can directly consider 1 into 10 raised to 5 or simply 10 raised to 5 Pascal or Newton per meter square. So here Newton per meter square is equal to Pascal. 1 Newton per meter square is nothing but 1 Pascal. Okay, well, so 1 atmosphere is equal to how much? 1 atmosphere is equal to 10 raised to 5 Pascal, or you can say 10 raised to 5 Newton per meter square. Okay, well, further conversions include, say 1.01325 into 10 raised to 5 into 10 raised to minus 3 kilopascal. Say kilo means 10 raised to 3 into 10 raised to minus 3. So we have not changed here. So when it is multiplied with 10 raised to minus 3, so here we are using unit kilo, right? So 1.01325 into 10 raised to 5 into 10 raised to minus 3 kilopascal or kilonewton per meter square. On simplification, what we get, it is the 101. So it will be 10 raised to 2 into 1.01325. So we are moving how many digits? 2 digits. So it will be 101.325 kilopascal, right? This is the simplifications. And further, that one pressure, it is further equal to 76 centimeter of mercury, or it is also equal to 760 mm of Hg, millimeters of mercury, or further it is also equal to 760 torr. So here 1 atmosphere is equal to 760 mm of Hg or 760 torr. So 1 mm of Hg is equal to 1 torr. So these are the few conversions, or I can say different units used to express the pressure of a gases. So here remember, 1 atmosphere is nothing but 1 atmosphere is equal to 1 bar, or which is further equal to 10 raised to 5 pascal, or 101.325 kilopascal, or which is also equal to 76 mm of Hg, or which is also equal to 760 mm of Hg, or which is equal to 760 torr. So these are the relations with respect to different units of a pressure. So please remember these things. Okay, well, so pressure is one of the property which can be measured quantitatively. Okay. Next, coming to the temperature of a gases. Okay, temperature of a gaseous particles. So well, generally temperature is nothing but what? It is the degree of hotness or degree of coldness. It is the measurement of degree of hotness or degree of coldness of a matter is referred as a temperatures. Well, to measure the temperature, how we are going to measure? With the help of, generally saying, with the help of thermometer. There are variety of thermometers. With the help of thermometer, we can measure the temperature of a system, right? We can measure the degree of hotness or degree of coldness of a system, right? Well, if I consider SI unit for temperature, say degree Celsius, Kelvin, relations, say SI unit will be Kelvin. So if I consider the relation between degree Celsius and Kelvin, say 0 degree Celsius will be equal to 273 Kelvin, 100 degree Celsius, say here, is increasing. Okay, degree Celsius is increasing. 100 degree Celsius is nothing but 373 Kelvin. 200 degree Celsius means 473 Kelvin minus 273 degree Celsius, which is equal to 0 Kelvin. So these are the relations. Means here the temperature of a system can be expressed with the help of degree Celsius or even Kelvin scale. So these are the different scales of a temperature. So Celsius scale and Kelvin scale. Okay, well, so temperature 0 to 100 degree, 273 to 373, 373 to 473, as like temperature rises, Kelvin temperature also rises. Okay, well, now if I consider interconversion of these two scales of a temperature, degree Celsius and Kelvin. Okay, well, if a temperature is given in terms of degree Celsius, okay, if the temperature is given in terms of degree Celsius, how we can express in terms of Kelvin means, so with the help of this relation, T Kelvin means temperature in terms of Kelvin is equal to temperature in degree Celsius plus 273. So is the standard relation, temperature in Kelvin is equal to temperature in degree Celsius plus 273 Kelvin. Okay, so that it will get converted into, say for example, 30 degrees Celsius. I want to express it in terms of Kelvin. So T Kelvin is equal to degree Celsius 30 plus 273. how much it is? It is 303 Kelvin. So degree Celsius, 30 degrees Celsius will be equal to how much? 303 Kelvin. Okay, so 27 degrees Celsius in terms of Kelvin temperature. So T Kelvin is equal to degree Celsius, temperature in degree Celsius plus 273. So it will be 300 Kelvin. Okay, so as like, so we can interconvert one scale of a temperature into another scale. So if you further degree Fahrenheit and degree Celsius. So Fahrenheit is the one more unit which is used to express the temperature. So with the help of Fahrenheit scale. So what is the relation means? So degree Celsius is equal to 5/9 bracket of degree Fahrenheit minus 32. So here if temperature is expressed in terms of degree Fahrenheit, it can be converted into degree Celsius. So for example, say 200 and so just consider 100 degree Fahrenheit. Okay, the temperature is given in terms of 100 degree Fahrenheit. I want to convert it into degree Celsius. So what is the formula? Degree Celsius is equal to 5/9 into the bracket degree Fahrenheit means 100 minus 32. Okay, so 5/9 into 100 minus 32, how much it is? 68. Okay, so will be almost equal to 37. So 37.7 degree Celsius. Okay, so there is a relations. If the temperature is expressed in terms of degree Fahrenheit, can be expressed in terms of degree Kelvin. Similarly, if you rearrange the same equation here, means degree Celsius to degree Fahrenheit. Reverse, if temperature is given in terms of degree Celsius, can be expressed in terms of degree Fahrenheit. So formula, degree Fahrenheit is equal to 9/5 into temperature in terms of degree Celsius plus 32. Okay, if temperature is given in terms of degree Celsius, we can express in terms of degree Fahrenheit. So just consider an example here. Consider the temperature is given, consider 30 degrees Celsius itself, 30 degrees Celsius. So in terms of degree Fahrenheit, how we can express means, so degree Fahrenheit is equal to 9/5 into temperature in degree Celsius. So 30 plus 32. So 5 ones are 5, 6 are okay, 9 6 are 54 plus 32. So 50 plus 30 80, 86 degree Fahrenheit. Okay, 30 degrees Celsius means how much it is? 86 degree Fahrenheit. Well, so it's about temperature. So temperature is one of the quantity which can be measured quantitatively. Okay, temperature of a gas can be expressed either in terms of degree Celsius, Kelvin or degree Fahrenheit. Okay, well, coming to the density of a gases, yes, it is possible to measure the density of a gas with the help of relation. Density is equal to mass divided by volume. So mass is expressed in terms of say kg and volume is expressed in terms of meter cube. Therefore density of a gas, okay, SI unit of a density, it will be kg per meter cube. So by knowing the mass and volume, by knowing the mass and volume of a gas, it is possible to measure its density. Okay, but if you take the ratio of mass to the volume, it gives the density. What is the SI unit means? It is the kg per meter cube. Usually density is expressed in terms of gram per centimeter cube. So meaning here mass is usually expressed in terms of gram and volume is expressed in terms of centimeter cube. So gram per centimeter cube will be the usual unit which is used to express the gases. Well, and one more, the last property I mentioned is the diffusion. So what is diffusion means? We know that all the all the particles present on the universe, they are under what? They are going to experience a gravitational force. Okay, gravitational forces of attractions. Well, here the diffusion of a gas is nothing but it is the free intermixing of two or more gases without gravitational effect, or in the absence of a gravitational effect, is called as a diffusion. So free intermixing of two or more gases without gravitational effect is called a diffusion of a gases. So here a rate of a diffusion, we can measure the rate of a diffusion of a gases. Well, rate means with respect to time. So how we are going to express the diffusion means volume of a gas diffused. Okay, volume of a gas diffused divided by time taken for diffusion. So volume by time means V by T. So how we are going to express the volume? Volume can be expressed in terms of centimeter cube or decimeter cube. Okay, milliliter or liter, and time is expressed in terms of second. Therefore, the unit will be centimeter cube. Okay, cm cube per second or decimeter cube per second. Okay. Well, consider a MCQ here. First one, 1 mole is equal to how much? 6.02 and 10 raised to 23. 6.02 into 10 raised to plus 23. 6.02 and 10 raised to minus 32. Fourth, 6.02 and 10 raised to 32. So what is the answer? 1 mole is nothing but 6.02 and 10 raised to 23 is the answer. Okay. Well, next, 1 atmosphere is equal to, okay, please look at the option. So it is not an MCQ, just to recall, 1 atmosphere is equal to, yes, it is equal to 1 bar, right? 1 bar, or we can say 10 raised to 5 Pascal. It is also true. Yes sir, 1 atmosphere is equal to 1 bar, and which is equal to 10 raised to 5 Pascal. Next option, 1.01325 into 10 raised to 5 Pascal. Yes, it is correct. 760 mm of Hg, it is also correct. 1.01325 into 10 raised to 5 Newton per meter square. Okay, so Pascal and Newton per meter square equal, so it is also true. And actually it is Newton per meter square. Okay, Newton meter square is the unit, so consider these are the two wrong answers. Then F 101.325 kilopascals. Okay, 1 atmosphere is equal to, okay, in terms of kilopascal, 101.325 kilopascals, right? And last one, 76 centimeter of mercury. So these are all right answers. So with this, I'm going to conclude about this session. Again, in the next session, we go for other concept. Okay, thank you. Be safe.